All right, it's the first day of fall. That means it's time to make some great, delicious treats and meals.
Yep, and busy mom Mariefiebach is here with some help. She's the founder of Feed Your Family Tonight. We have had her with us for quite a long time, and we appreciate everything you're bringing, especially a fall recipe for Allison and Frank today.
Yes, today we are making my cinnamon baked apples, and I know it's warm out, but I feel like the taste of fall in my home. This recipe is really simple. It starts off with apples, and I have it sized on my website for either 4 apples or 2, depending upon what you're making. Today I'm using Granny Smith apples, but this recipe works with any kind of apples. And you just slice them in half down the pole, and then I'm using a melon baller here to scoop out the seeds and the stems.
Is that what I search on Amazon? Melon baller?
Yes, it is called a melon baller.
Wow.
And I just am putting it into a baking dish, and then I'm going to show you how to make this streusel. You want to have a little bit of a hole in the apple because the streusel is going to go into the middle of that hole. The streusel is really simple. It starts with a half a cup of brown sugar and 4 tablespoons of butter. This is for the 4 apple recipe, and the smaller size is on my website. And then a 1/4 cup of flour, and you know I use that white whole wheat flour whenever I can, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and just a tiny pinch of salt. You don't need much, but because I'm using unsalted butter, I want to have some salt in there. Now, if you can see, my butter is softening pretty quickly, or mixing in quickly because it's softened. You want this butter to be about room temperature. If it's a little bit warmer, it'll be okay, but it's kind of hard to mix in when it's cold. You're just going to make like a streusel, and then you're going to add a half a cup of chopped walnuts. You can use chopped pecans, or if you're a family that doesn't prefer nuts, you can do this without the nuts.
What if the family is nuts? That's mine.
Well, you know, that could happen in my house as well,
Okay.
but we're all good.
Yeah.
This is going to make kind of like a streusel, and as you work it with your hands, it's going to get warmer, and it's going to kind of start sticking together, and you can actually form like a little ball. And so this is going to form, you're going to form like a little ball with your hands, and you're going to put that little ball over here in the middle of each apple. And so I form this into 8 little balls because I have 4 apples, so I have 8 halves here, and I put it in the middle of each apple. This is going to go into a 350-degree oven for 1 hour. Now, Allison, we were talking about different kinds of apples before we started here. Today is using a Honeycrisp, which is a firmer apple. Honeycrisp, Granny Smith, those are all apples that are going to hold their shape. You get into Golden Delicious and Galas, and they're going to be a little bit softer. All of the apples work well, but you're going to end up with kind of a different texture depending upon the apples that you're using.
A little bit of firmness to go with that streusel.
Right. I like the firmer ones for this particular recipe, but like when I'm making an apple pie, I mix firm and soft apples so that you get a little bit of crunch, but then you get some of that ooey gooey mushiness from the softer apples.
So good.
All right, well, apple cinnamon, I'll go ahead and give it a try, but you can tell folks about Feed Your Family Tonight a little bit, Marie.
Well, you know, Feed Your Family Tonight, we're all about helping busy families get weeknight dinner on the table, even when life is crazy. I have a Facebook group, and that is one of the best ways to connect with me and others that are out there in the world just trying to get dinner on the table just like you. So that's at facebook.com/feedyourfamilytonight. And I love answering your questions, and there's a lot of great people in that group that help answer each other's questions too.
So much discussion, all kinds of menu planning, really great tips that you can get on there. And then again, this recipe specifically on your website, Feed Your Family Tonight.
Feedyourfamilytonight.com. The recipe's there for 4 or 2 apples. Shane, what'd you think?
You got to go check it out. FeedYourFamilyTonight.com. It is delicious. We'll be right back. Stay with us.